Hey, my friend, come, sit with me for a minute. Have you ever had those days, or maybe even weeks, where it feels like you're just drowning, not in water, but in feelings? A deep, churning ocean of emotions inside your chest, and you can't even tell which wave is which. It's this immense, heavy weight, a storm brewing inside your soul that you can't quite put a name to, and when you look around, everyone else seems to be walking on dry land. If you've ever felt that, I need you to listen closely. That feeling isn't a weakness, it's not a flaw. It's a whisper from the universe, a sacred signal that your soul is ready for something more. It's a sign that you're on the verge of a profound awakening. I know it because I've been there. I spent years feeling like I was navigating in the dark. We're given maps for our careers, for our finances, for everything on the outside, but nobody ever hands us a compass for our own heart. We learn to think, to analyze, to do, but not how to simply be with the powerful, sacred language of our emotions. I truly believe this journey inward, this quest to become the master of your own emotional landscape, is the most important adventure you'll ever take. It's the path back to your power, to your divine alignment. If any of this is striking a chord deep within you, if you feel that little spark of recognition, then you've found your people. Let's acknowledge this connection. Take a moment to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe so we can continue this journey together. And in the comments below, I want you to make a declaration to the universe. Let it know you're here and you're ready. Just type, "I resonate with this," or 777 to affirm your place on this path. Trust me, you are so far from alone. The very first step, the one that changed everything for me, was learning to become an interpreter for my own soul. It sounds grand, I know, but it really boils down to this: learning to recognize what I was actually feeling. For the longest time, my emotional vocabulary was basically two words: fine and not fine. But that's like trying to describe a sunset using only black and white. Useless, right? I was completely unaware of the rich, detailed messages my spirit was trying to send me. Can you honestly feel the difference in your body between the buzzy, electric energy of excitement and the shaky, tight frequency of anxiety? They can feel similar, but they're worlds apart. Do you know the sharp, prickly sting of frustration versus the deep, heavy ache of disappointment? I didn't. But the truth is, your soul speaks in these incredibly specific frequencies. I've read that we have over 27 distinct emotional signatures, and each one is a piece of divine guidance, a clue from our higher self. So, I started a little experiment. I decided to become a quiet observer of my own inner world. I started paying attention to my body, my sacred vessel. Where did my sadness live? For me, it was a hollow, cold feeling right in the pit of my stomach. Joy? That was a warmth that started in my chest and radiated out to my fingertips, making them tingle. My thoughts were a huge clue, too. What were the stories looping in my head when I felt a certain way? I got a cheap notebook and started what I now call my soul log. It's nothing fancy. Some days it's just a word: anxious, hopeful, peaceful. By tracking these feelings, by daring to give them a name, and just acknowledging their presence, something shifted. I was no longer a victim of the storm. I was becoming the captain of my own ship, learning to read the winds and the stars inside me. This awareness, my friend, is the master key. It's the first turn of the lock that will ultimately set you free. Once you start recognizing what's going on inside, the next step feels, well, it feels radical at first. The mission is to embrace every single feeling with absolute, unconditional awareness. I'm talking about a practice of profound and fierce self-love. Healthy emotional regulation isn't about wrestling your feelings into submission or pretending they don't exist. Gosh, I tried that for years, and it was exhausting. It all begins with divine self-awareness. It's the sacred act of looking at the full spectrum of your emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly, and saying, "You are welcome here." Think about it. When you judge an emotion, when you tell yourself, "I shouldn't feel this angry," or "It's weak to feel this sad," what are you really doing? You're rejecting a part of yourself. You're slamming the door in the face of a messenger that your soul sent for a reason. Instead, I started to imagine holding each feeling like I would a small, scared child. If anger showed up, instead of fighting it, I'd mentally say, "Okay, anger, I see you. You're here. What do you need to tell me?" I wouldn't act on it, but I would let it be. And in that space of non-judgmental observation, a little miracle happens every time. The emotion, feeling seen and honored, delivers its message, and its intense energy starts to naturally soften and dissipate. It's like letting steam out of a kettle. Mindfulness and meditation became my training ground for this. These practices teach you to sit in the quiet center of your being and just watch the clouds of emotion drift by without getting swept up in them. And that's when you discover the most incredible, unspeakable peace. You realize that you are not the ever-changing weather of your feelings. You, my friend, are the vast, eternal sky. Remember that. Embrace it. Okay, so we've learned to listen and we've learned to accept. Now we move from being to doing, from awareness to a kind of divine magic. The third sacred skill is learning how to flip the script. In fancy terms, they call it cognitive reappraisal, but I just think of it as becoming the master alchemist of my own life. This is where you learn to take the heavy, dull lead of a painful experience and consciously transmute it into the shimmering gold of spiritual wisdom. It's a game changer. This powerful strategy is all about consciously shifting the frequency of your perception. You see, an event itself is just an event. It's neutral. It's the story, the meaning you attach to it, that gives it its emotional power. And here's the secret. You have the power to change the story. I remember when a project I poured my heart and soul into for months completely fell apart at the last minute. My initial feeling was devastation, a gut punch. The story in my head was, I'm a failure, I'm not good enough. But after sitting with that awful feeling for a bit, a new question, a new story, started to emerge. What if this isn't a dead end? What if this is a divine redirection? What if the universe was saving me from a path that wasn't truly aligned with my highest good? Suddenly, the devastation started to transform into curiosity, and then, eventually, relief. Is a setback truly a failure, or is it a universal course correction guiding you toward your true destiny? By consciously choosing this higher vibrational perspective, you alchemize the pain. This isn't just wishful thinking. Studies have shown this very practice can dramatically decrease stress and anxiety, building incredible emotional resilience. This is your power. Reframe your thoughts. See every challenge as a lesson from the universe, designed specifically for your soul's expansion. Change your perspective, and you will fundamentally change your reality. Now, those emotions you've recognized and accepted, they have energy. They need to go somewhere. The fourth pillar of emotional freedom is finding sacred outlets to express yourself. Think of your emotions as a powerful river flowing through you. If you try to dam it up, what happens? The pressure builds and builds until the dam breaks, and it's usually messy and destructive. That's what bottling up your emotions does to your spiritual and mental health. You have to create healthy channels for that river to flow. Your creativity is a direct line to your soul, a perfect channel. Have you ever thought about it that way? When you put on a song and just move your body without thinking, you're not just dancing. You're letting your body become a vessel for that emotional energy to move and release. When you pick up a pen and just write whatever comes to mind in a journal, without censoring yourself, you're letting your spirit articulate its deepest truths. I'm no artist, but I once bought a cheap set of watercolors and just started painting colors on a page, not trying to make a picture, but just trying to paint how I felt. The reds of my anger, the grays of my sadness, the yellows of my hope. It was incredibly healing. And of course, talking to a trusted friend, a true member of your soul tribe, a profound act of sacred expression. When you can voice your feelings to someone who holds that safe, non-judgmental space for you, you allow that energy to be seen, to be validated, and to be transformed through the simple, powerful magic of connection. Don't let anyone tell you that expressing your feelings is a sign of weakness. It is a declaration of your power to heal, to transform, and to live authentically. I have to tell you something I wish I'd learned sooner. You were never meant to walk this path of awakening all by yourself. The fifth, and maybe most comforting, principle of emotional mastery is to lean on others. It's about finding and nurturing your soul tribe. We live in a culture that champions rugged individualism, but the truth is, human connection is a crucial, non-negotiable part of our emotional regulation. Building those supportive, loving relationships provides a powerful energetic buffer against the storms of life. It's like having a human shield of love and understanding. When you surround yourself with souls who truly see you, who get you, who vibrate on a similar frequency, you create this incredible collective field of high vibrational energy. It's palpable. Sharing your experiences with empathetic, aligned people does so much more than just make you feel better in the moment. It offers you a fresh perspective when you're stuck in your own head. It provides that deep, soul-level validation, that feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. Someone else gets it. That shared understanding helps you regulate your own emotions more effectively than you ever could in isolation. But I'm talking about something deeper than just having friends to hang out with. A soul tribe consists of those people who support your spiritual growth, who honor your journey, and who can hold up a mirror to show you your own divine light, even on the days you feel lost in the darkness. Please, don't try to be a lone wolf on this journey. Seek out those connections. Share your heart, your wins, your struggles. Sharing your inner world with others can provide a comfort and a clarity that is a true balm for the soul. Let's talk about your physical body for a second. It's not just a machine that carries your brain around. Your body is the sacred temple of your soul, the physical anchor for your spiritual experience here on earth. The sixth key to regulating your emotional world is to learn to nourish and honor this precious vessel. Your physical well-being and your emotional health aren't separate things. They are deeply, profoundly connected. Adopting healthy lifestyle habits isn't just about looking good or living longer. It's a spiritual practice that directly raises your frequency and bolsters your ability to regulate your emotion. Think about the food you eat. Is it vibrant, living food, like fresh fruits and vegetables that carry the high vibration of the sun and the earth? Or is it dense, lifeless, processed stuff? Every single meal is a choice, an opportunity to either honor or dishonor your temple. And exercise, it's one of the most potent forms of spiritual alchemy there is. When you move your body, you're not just burning calories, you're clearing out old, stagnant energy, releasing emotional blockages, and stimulating the flow of endorphins, those amazing, feel-good chemicals that are nature's own antidepressant. And what about sleep? Sleep isn't just downtime, it's a sacred pilgrimage. It's when your soul repairs, processes, and receives guidance. Prioritizing deep, restorative sleep is absolutely essential for your emotional balance. A balanced diet, good sleep, and regular movement all contribute to a healthy brain, and a healthy brain is much better equipped to handle emotional waves. Remember, your physical health and your emotional well-being are two sides of the same divine coin. Take care of your temple, and it will take care of you. Stress. Ugh. That word alone can make your shoulders tense up, right? Stress is an unavoidable part of being human. It's the friction that creates the heat that forges the diamond of our soul. But here's the thing. It's not the stress itself, but our response to it that determines its impact on our lives. The seventh step towards emotional mastery is to learn how to stress less by mastering your inner response. You have to become a detective of your own stress patterns. When the pressure is on, what's your go-to reaction? Do you immediately fall into a spiral of negative self-talk, telling yourself you can't handle it? Does your mind start to catastrophize, turning a small challenge into a life or death scenario? I used to do that all the time. That mental and emotional drama creates so much more suffering than the actual stressful event itself. To stress less, you have to learn to work with energy. Stress is a low, chaotic, frantic frequency, but you have the power to shift it. Effective stress management techniques are really just tools for changing your frequency. Practices like taking a few deep, conscious breaths, tensing, and then relaxing your muscles one by one, or using mindfulness to just observe the feeling of stress without getting lost in it. These are powerful methods for calming your body's physiological alarm system. The next time you feel that familiar energy of stress rising, just try this. Stop what you're doing, close your eyes, put a hand on your heart, and take 3 of the slowest, deepest breaths you've taken all day. With each inhale, imagine breathing in pure, peaceful, golden light. With each exhale, imagine releasing the gray, heavy smoke of stress. You are activating your body's own relaxation response. These techniques calm your mind and body, bringing you back to your center, back to a state of peace, even when the world outside is chaotic. And finally, my friend, please hear this. The strongest, wisest souls I know are the ones who are brave enough to ask for help. The 8th and final key to mastering your emotions is knowing when to seek guidance. Despite all your best efforts, despite your journaling and your meditation and your soul tribe, there may be times when it all just feels like too much. Times when you feel like you're drowning and you've forgotten how to swim. In those moments, seeking support from a mental health professional, a therapist, a counselor, a spiritual mentor is not a sign that you've failed. It is the ultimate act of courage and profound self-love. It's an acknowledgement that you are ready for a deeper level of healing. These professionals are trained guides. They have maps for the very territories you feel lost in. They can offer you personalized strategies and powerful tools to help you navigate your inner world, develop healthier coping mechanisms, and understand the deep roots of your emotional patterns. There is absolutely no shame in asking for help. If you're struggling, consider making that call. It could be the single most loving thing you ever do for yourself. By weaving these sacred strategies into the fabric of your daily life, you can take divine control of your emotions and create a life that feels more joyful, more peaceful, and more fulfilling. Remember, it's okay to feel whatever you feel, and it's always okay to ask for help. You deserve a life filled with peace, happiness, and profound emotional resilience.